Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. This is the show that'll help you become your best self. And today we are talking about progress over perfection, how to focus on your progress and keep going. But before we jump into that, as always, I want to invite you to come say hi to me on TikTok or Instagram. I am at Sabrina Joy Peroso. I would love to say hi to you. I would love to become friends online. I recently just had someone do that today. It was so great. I love hearing from you guys and doing whatever I can to have a conversation with you to, continue to help you in whatever way that I possibly can. You know what I mean? Motivation, advice, just chit chat, whatever I can do for you. I just let's have a relationship online, be friends. Also, I want to invite you to send me an email anytime you want, realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. All of that information is available for you down in the show notes, as well as joining my newsletter, which happens every Monday. That comes out every Monday morning, every single week. There's also a place for you to join the Real Positive Girl community on Facebook, where I'm trying to beef that up and have more things available to you guys, have live videos, just share resources and additional information that you may not necessarily see on the other socials, and can get more in real time. You know what I mean? So there's other stuff down there in the show notes. Check it all out. See what interests you, see what doesn't. But let's just go ahead and jump into today's episode, which again, progress over perfection, how to focus on your progress and keep going. So believe me, I do not like it when things don't go the way I planned. Literally, you can ask anyone that actually knows me well enough. I would say if you know me for a few months, you will know that it's like, it kind of bothers me. It's like, man, I thought that I did all the research. I thought of everything so deeply, so specifically, and it still did not turn out the way that I liked, the way that I wanted to play, the way that I desired, the way that I planned. Because I am the ultimate planner. Like, everyone knows that. I am the ultimate planner, and I have issues with like too many things changing, people getting in my way of what I have planned, because I have that toxic trait of believing that I am right a lot of the times because I spend so much time doing research and, really thinking about like 20 different scenarios on how things could go and trying to think about problem solving things in advance before they actually happen. And I want everything to be perfect, right? And sadly, wanting everything to be perfect and all of that mess that I am plagued with and I deal with and struggle with, sadly, that means that if something didn't turn out perfectly, it kind of meant nothing to me. It's like, well, all this was a waste. Why did I even do any of this? Like, why? What is even the point here? And I definitely was very black and white in my way of thinking with that, because it was like, it was perfection or nothing. Everything had to be perfect. And I'm sure you're like, oh my gosh, that was a lot. Really, Sabrina? Like, I'm being completely honest with you about all of these things I struggle with and am working through, because I want you to know that you're not alone. Luckily, I'm not as bad as that anymore, but that definitely was the reality of who I was like only a few short years ago. That was definitely me. I used to be so much more bothered by things not going perfectly or not being seen as perfect by others. Definitely an issue that I still kind of struggle with. But, we're all working through our own different things, right? And there's no problem with that. Honestly, there would be a problem if you weren't taking the time to work through it, to be honest with you. But thankfully, the growth I have been doing is eliminating that behavior little by little. I'm not unlike well, there's times where I do feel like I want to race forward and just be like, let's get this growth going. But it's little by little, and I appreciate that, because I can at least see these tiny little pieces of growth, and they are moving along, and it makes me feel good, and I'm like, good, I'm moving in the right direction. But it still bothers me a little bit. Just to be honest, it still bothers me, and I don't expect that will fully go away, like ever, to be honest. Because, when we work on our behaviors and mindsets in our lives, we need to accept that it might be something we struggle with for the rest of our lives. And I know that sounds, you're like, really? Like, what's even the point then? There's a point, because you're going to get better and you're going to feel better and your life's going to be a lot easier and not as stressful and overwhelming and burdensome. So do not don't let that scare you. You're just like, I'm giving up. I'm done. We're done here. No, 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 no. Like, we just need to keep going. But, it's just a matter of like we just need to accept that we might be struggling with a lot of these things for the rest of our lives. It's just a matter of like how much we are actually struggling with these things. And if we can work hard enough to make it like the bare minimum amount that's like not even a big deal, it just crops up here and there. And we're like, hold on, let's get ourselves back in check, self awareness at working at its best, and not let this thing try to tear me down. Because it's nothing to be ashamed of that we are working on, whether it's like perfectionism or people pleasing or self doubt or lack of self worth or comparison issues or any of these things. Like it's not nothing to be ashamed of. No one is actually perfect. Just so you know, I'm telling you, only Jesus is perfect. I'm telling you, no one's actually perfect. People are just out there pretending to be. I promise you. Okay, even the people that are like seem the most perfect, they have gone through their trials and tribulations and issues and problems and probably are still dealing with some stuff. They are just so good at keeping it on the down low. And hey, props to them. That's a great skill to have. But I feel like it also makes other people feel invalidated of like, wow, I can't possibly measure up to that. That sucks. Again, why am I trying? But let's not give up. Let's keep going because those people, it's fine. Like let them live their lives the way they want by like just like not allowing anyone to see any of the shaky struggle things that are going on in their life. That's how they choose to live. But you don't have to live that way, and it's okay to realize that we all are dealing with our own things. Even if we never tell anyone that we're dealing with those things and we're dealing with them all internally, which is I do not believe the best approach, but hey, that's sometimes how we do it. Um then yeah, so everyone's going through their own thing. Sometimes you see it, a lot of times you won't. So let's talk about what it means to focus on progress over perfection because perfection is not a real attainable thing, although a lot of us think it is, including myself. I used to think that it was. When we focus too hard on perfection, we continue to let ourselves down because we are not able to achieve true perfection. As I've said multiple times, it's just not real. It's not there. We keep thinking if we just do this one thing, if we just get better at this one thing, or have money for that thing, or change this for the 10th time, it will finally be perfect. There's always all these like little nitpicky things that come out where we're like, oh, if we only do this, if we only do this, okay, just one more step, one. In reality, this isn't true. You can continue to nitpick and change and move and adjust and shift. It's not going to be perfect. We will never truly be perfect. But we are always enough. So I want you to let that sink in for a minute. You are always enough. You are enough right now. Even if you're in the biggest, deepest struggle, pit of despair of your life, you are enough. If you feel like you're neutral in everything you're going through, life is good, but it's also a little shaky. And you are enough if you feel like life is just going well right now. And so it's easier to feel like you're enough when life is going really well, but it's hard to feel enough when you are literally feel like you're in the pit of despair and like things are just going to go wrong. So I just want you to like consider and understand and believe and take to heart and post it on your wall on a post-it note or write it on your mirror or set a reminder in your phone to remind you every single freaking day that you are enough already and perfection is a lie. It is a lie. So focusing on progress will allow you to actually enjoy working towards your goals. Imagine that. Imagine like having a really big goal and really enjoying like the time and the energy that you're putting towards it and really having fun with continuing to cruise along that journey that you create for yourself to hit that achievement. And it will be a lot easier to also like motivate yourself to keep going because you're seeing the milestones you're hitting as something that matters. It does matter. Every single moment that you are moving forward on your journey to achieve your goal matters. And it is something to be celebrated. Absolutely. Like, no question. You should be celebrating all of those moments. When you're focusing so hard on perfection, you're only satisfied when you complete it and it turns out the way that you want it to. Those two things have to be together. You have to complete it and it has to turn out the way that you thought it was going to turn out. Plus, focusing on progress will allow you to appreciate the new pieces of knowledge you've learned, maybe new people that have come into your life, and having the opportunity to lean more into gratitude. Because as you progress on the roadmap and the plan that you have created for yourself, you are grateful that you had the opportunity to meet with this person or ask this person for help or have more time to do this and not rush yourself along and, better understand these things and be grateful that you had the opportunity to learn this because it's going to apply to so many other things in your life in the future. So it's important to consider how much better it is to focus on your progress versus perfection, because perfectionism sucks. And I'm saying that as someone that does struggle with that. I'm telling you, it sucks. And yes, it might take you some time to really shift out of those behaviors, that mindset that just seems all encompassing and like the way that you have to live your life. But I promise you that once you take the steps to do that and you are more removed from it and your perspective is so much wider to understand that progress definitely wins over perfection. So, here are 5 ways to stay focused on your progress, to stay focused on your progress and not get too caught up in being perfect, because that's the problem that a lot of us run into. So, 5 ways. Here we go. Also, as always, this is not a comprehensive list. If these suggestions, tips do not help you, I suggest that you go to Google and look it up, or maybe talk to a professional like a counselor, a mentor, therapist, whomever, and see if something else would work better for you to focus more on progress rather than perfection. But this is just based on my own research and understanding of what I believe would be the best to help you to focus on that and not let perfectionism kind of ruin your life, basically. So there is that. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So number 1, stop comparing yourself to others. It's a classic one, right? It's a classic tip that we all hear all of the darn time, but it is really important. And it's important to mention here because when we focus too much on comparing ourselves, we do want to be perfect and we want to match up to that person that we are looking at that we think is perfect. And then it's all downhill from there. It is absolutely. So you will want to give up so often if you continue to focus on what everyone else is doing. And for what? Like literally in my notes, I wrote, and for what? Is it because you need to be right where they are? Because it's a race to get to the end and see who gets there first? Because you don't believe you are worth anything unless you are doing as well as everyone else, basically keeping up with the Joneses kind of situation? I'm here to tell you that it's a hamster wheel approach to life. It literally is. This imagery came to me as I was writing this because I was like, oh, we can just get so caught up. It is a hamster wheel approach to life. You will never get to the end and you will wear yourself out if you don't release yourself from that behavior. Think about it. You need to release yourself. You need to decide, okay, I no longer need to be caught up in this. I no longer need to be held captive by this mindset, by this behavior, because it is not going to benefit me. It's not going to serve you in any way. It's really not. It's going to cause more pain and stress and overwhelm and burden and disappointment and sadness and a myriad of other possible mental health issues. So, stop comparing yourself to others, because then you will be better able to appreciate the progress that you are making in your life, in your goals, in everything that you're doing. Okay, number 2. Again, a classic one. You're going to be like, oh, Sabrina. Mistakes and failures don't define you, but improve you. I know I talk ad nauseum, I know, about mistakes and failures, but it's important. It's so super important, you guys. And, if I just have to continue to repeat myself before the whole world knows this message, I will gladly. I'll do it to the end of time. But just because you experience mistakes and failures doesn't mean you will be seen as someone that hasn't done something great. I feel like we try to hide our mistakes and failures because we don't want people to know that we have made those things. And then we're trying to pass off this idea that we're perfect, that we get it all right, that we don't need to try things multiple times. We're just getting it. And that actually can make other people feel inferior, which is fine because it's fine because they are choosing to feel however they're feeling. So you're not responsible for their feelings. But if you do buy into the idea, which I do, that it's important for us to try to be our best selves because we're also, whether we like it or not, a role model for others because there are people watching you. You just don't know it. And again, you're not responsible for what they do. But the idea of wanting to be your best self so that you are role modeling your best behavior and the best way that you are going about stuff. And so if you're trying to pass off the fact that you do everything perfectly, then you're kind of instigating the idea that you need to be perfect, to be looked up to be seen as great, to have accolades and respect, which isn't true. So you, just because you experience mistakes and failures, you are not going to be seen as less than or as someone that isn't doing something great. It's actually the opposite. There are so many people, you hear the classic stories of people that lost a whole bunch of money and got passed over by investors and people over and over again before they actually had their big break. And then it was like the biggest thing ever to come out in the world. Computers, books, ideas, inventions, all of the things, services. And then all those people are like kicking themselves because they missed the boat on the opportunity. But they had to go through mistakes and failures to get there. And it's important to remember that. I know, it's cliche. But what do we say here? Cliche and cheesy things are generally true. We're just sick of hearing them. Mistakes and failures, it also doesn't mean that you can't reach your desired outcome next time. It's not like a one and done. It's a multiple time and done honestly, or just multiple time ongoing forever until you figure it out, or you do figure it out and then you just want to continue to build on that idea, goal, thing that you're doing, right? Mistakes and failures actually signify that you have actually tried and did something. It really sucks in the moment. I say that every time. It sucks when you're going through it. It's not fun. It's frustrating. It's a letdown. It's like, wow, how much time did I waste? These are the thoughts that go through my mind. But I have to realize everything that I got out of that experience, take that knowledge into the next run, into the next goal, into the next journey, whatever is next. It's coming along as important information. And I'm going to let the baggage of letting it bring me down behind. Goodbye. See you later. So when you actually move forward and try something and you don't let mistakes and failures stop you, you don't allow fear to control you. And you believe in yourself enough to take a step forward. So I want you to be proud about that. Honestly, if we could all get behind the idea, including myself, to be more proud of the mistakes and failures that we've gone through because it signifies that we're actually doing something and trying to make things happen in our life, it'll be seen as something so much better. We should try that. I think it would really, really help. Really help. Need to figure out how to campaign that. Okay, number 3. Create a plan or a roadmap with flexibility. This is very easy thing to accomplish, to be honest with you. And it's probably the one that's like least affected by like your emotions and your mindset. But it kind of is, but you know what I mean. So create a plan or roadmap with flexibility. Like, do not cut off the part where I'm saying with flexibility because it's probably the most important part, even though it comes at the end of the phrase. So things will happen to change your timeline, inevitably, right? Things will get in your way and you will have setbacks. It's just how life is. It's all natural and it's acceptable. Remember that. So if you do kind of feel yourself getting caught up in what other people will think about you and their opinions, it is natural and acceptable. If someone else is making you feel like it's not, it's their insecurities on display, right? They are projecting their feelings onto you because they are not doing the work of self-awareness to understand themselves better and deal with those feelings. Let them do what they need to do. As long as it's not like, getting physically in your way of being able to do what you need to do. But it's important to have a plan. It's important to have a plan and whatever goals that you are trying to achieve. Make that plan manageable and in small steps so it's not overwhelming. But you can't control how everything is going to go. Unfortunately, I am a control freak. I do struggle with this. I understand. So if you are too, I get it. It's hard to do. It's hard to be like, okay, tell myself we can't control everything, Sabrina. It's impossible. It's impossible. Saying impossible right there, this is going to show how old I am, but it reminds me of I think it was like an ABC TV production of Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston, and where they sing the song Impossible. Oh my gosh. And I would sing it here, but I'm afraid I don't want to get sued in the future. Anyway, That's what that reminded me of. I'm singing in my mind. Ooh, okay. Anyway, I'll have to listen to that later. So, yeah, it is impossible to control everything. So just make the plan, make it manageable so it's not overwhelming or too fast paced or even too slow. Sometimes we do it too slow because we are still, limping along in fear. Just kind of try to speed it up as time goes on, as you let your fear fall to the wayside. I know it's not easy. We got to work on it. And then in small steps so it's not overwhelming, and just release the idea that everything will be under your control, because it will not. So just do the best you can. That's important for us to remember for most things. Just do the best you can and be flexible with what unexpectedly happens. And know, this is the important part. Please listen up, listen up, listen up, listen up. And know that those things don't have to destroy you. The unexpected craziness that happens in every plan that we all create for our lives, for goals, for everything. Something unexpected happens. Those things don't have to destroy you if you do not let them. When things destroy us, we are allowing them to do so. Even down to people's nasty things that they will say to us. Even people like going out of their way to not allow certain things to happen in our lives. It's difficult to deal with, but we don't have to let those experiences destroy us. We don't have to. It takes a lot of grace and forgiveness. Not even forgiveness, just understanding and flexibility in your mindset and control of how you respond rather than react, to not let those things destroy you. It is a skill. It's something that we should always be working on every single day, no matter where our mental health is, because it's so important. If we allow all of these things to destroy us, we will become nothing in our minds and then not have the capability to follow through of the things that are in our hearts and our biggest desires. So, please, 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 if you don't take anything else away from this episode, just know that you do not have to let these things that come out of nowhere, unexpected things, destroy you. You do not. Please remember that. Okay, on to number 4. We all know how I can fall off onto a tangent. Let's not do that. Okay, number 4. Maybe one day it'll be wouldn't it be funny if I asked people to submit things for me to go off on a tangent on, and I would literally set a timer for 5 minutes, and we would do a 5-minute tangent on five different topics or random ideas from people. Let me know. Send me a message if you think that's a good idea. It's interesting. Okay, anyway, number 4. Remember how far you have come. Very classic. Very classic thing to apply to really focusing more on progress than perfection. It's actually super helpful. It's probably one of the most helpful things in this whole list, because when you reflect back on the milestones you have hit so far, it's important for you to celebrate those moments and realize, wow, I have done so much. I have come so far. This is great. It reignites that motivation and drive inside of you, which is like a double plus. So don't be so concerned about how much work and time you have left in front of you. That can really push us all back and make us feel like we are super burdened and overwhelmed with everything that we have to do. If you don't focus too much on what's in front of you and you just focus on the present and take time to reflect on how far you've come, it just feels so much better and it continues to fuel that energy to keep on moving. And if you continue to do that, if you continue to focus too much on how much there is to do in the future, you won't be able to enjoy what's happening right now, which again, living in the present, it's so important. And if you aren't in it to actually enjoy it, enjoy the process, enjoy the journey that you're taking to hit those goals and accomplish those things, then why are you doing it at all? I know you want the end result, but if you're not going to enjoy yourself and actually live your life as much as you can to the fullest, I feel like there's no point in you actually trying to go after these goals. Find something else to do, something that you'll actually enjoy. I'm just saying. Get all excited about the growth that you have accomplished by reflecting back and how much better you are now than where you were before. It's the easiest way to create and ignite a motivation in your life. So if you feel like you're lacking motivation, which a lot of us do when we are going after certain goals and trying to establish certain habits in our lives, and you cannot rely on motivation to keep you going. You have to have discipline to just know that you have to do it, and motivation will come and go. But a great way to, ignite some motivation is to really reflect how far you've come, knowing that all of that has caused all of that. Well, think about if I kept going and how much better I'll be and in the next time that I reflect back and hit a milestone on something. That is like the quickest way to ignite motivation in your life for accomplishing goals and to keep going. So try that next time you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. But wait, look how far I've come. Look how great I feel. Great. Okay. I'll just keep moving forward just a little bit. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. It'll help so much. Okay, so number 5, and the last one that I have to share with you is know when to let go and have a natural ending or transition. So this one was interesting because originally I was going to do this episode, just like some insider information, with only 4 tips, and this one was not included. But after I wrote the first 2, I came up with this one, and I was like, well, this has to be the one at the end. And then I went on doing research for the 2 extra ones. Well, not extra, but the 2 additional ones that I had already planned on kind of doing, if that makes sense. Because when I was thinking about this, I was like, you know what? This does highly apply to focusing more on progress than perfection, because sometimes we think that we need to be perfect and that everything has to work out. We can't give up because we'll be seen as like a quitter in a negative light, right? And that's just not the case. Sometimes you have to just let go and know that there needs to be a natural end or transition. Sometimes there'll be an end and that will just be done, or sometimes you just need to end it and transition in a different way, take a different route to get to where you need to be. And that's okay. Like being like a quitter, quote unquote, is not like a bad thing. It's you realizing that, well, it's when you realize that you can't go any further and there's no need and it's kind of like a waste to do so, you're actually being more efficient. Being a quitter in a negative connotation would be more of like you're quitting before you've even tried enough to figure out what needs to change and how you could transition to something else. You know what I mean? You got to actually like give it a little bit of time and then figure out if you do need to change directions, which is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with pivoting and shifting at all whatsoever. So just know that. But sometimes things aren't going to work out, and that's absolutely okay. Sometimes we think that we've figured out the best way for something to work out, and it's just not going to work out that way, so we have to change. A very simple example of this is if we go with a certain like website provider, someone that hosts your website, and it crashes all the time, then you're like, okay, and you try to call customer service and you try to figure out there's things you can fix and it just continues to get worse or doesn't get any better. You're like, okay, we just got to cut the cord and move on to someone else that could do this job better, that could help me host my website better so I can actually get back to, hosting whatever I want to have on it, have it running, run my business, do whatever, right? So it's a very like basic example, but it helps you understand that sometimes things just don't work out the way that you thought, or you were misled or lied to about how something's going to be super great, and it doesn't end up being great. And even that it's just not great for you and it's been great for other people, that doesn't mean that you have to stick it out for longer than it's necessary. You don't have to. It's okay that it doesn't work out. You'll do everything you can to get it to work, but there is a natural end that comes with most things. And you just need to follow it. It's okay. It doesn't mean you've given up or you failed. It just means that you are just finding another way. Especially if you were transitioning, you're not giving up at all. You're just like, okay, well, this isn't working out. Let's find a better way so that we can be more efficient and hit more milestones and achieve more and keep going. So forcing it to work could make it worse, to be honest. And going in a different direction is sometimes just a better option altogether. So consider knowing when to let go and have a natural ending transition, so that you can continue to focus on your progress and not get so hung up on perfection. But that's all the tips I have for you guys today on how to focus on progress over perfection. So thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. I appreciate you guys listening, downloading, sharing the show. You're absolutely fantastic. I love doing this every single week, twice a week, putting these episodes out, talking about it, sharing it. Oh, it's so great. But don't forget to check the show notes below for notes for the show. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out my website. Come say hi to me on Instagram, TikTok. Send me an email. All the things. And that's it. So until next time, have a good one, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you again. Bye, everyone.